The landscape of mixed martial arts is perpetually shifting, but few seismic changes have been as dramatic and as thoroughly earned as Ilia Topuria's recent ascent to the #1 spot in the UFC's pound-for-pound rankings, overtaking the long-reigning Islam Makhachev. This transition at the summit of the sport is not merely a matter of numbers or bureaucratic reshuffling. It is the culmination of a series of emphatic performances, strategic career moves, and a changing of the guard that reflects both the evolution of the sport and its current moment. To understand how Topuria surpassed Makhachev in the pound-for-pound rankings, it is necessary to examine the context of their respective careers, the significance of Topuria's recent achievements, and the broader implications for the UFC and the sport as a whole. Before we jump in, a quick request: if you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing. It's just one click for you, but it means the world to us. Thanks for the support. Now let's get started. Ilia Topuria's rise to the top of the pound-for-pound list reached its apex at UFC 317, where he delivered a thunderous first-round knockout against Charles Oliveira to claim the vacant lightweight championship. The victory itself was not just another win, it was a definitive statement. Oliveira, a former lightweight champion and one of the most dangerous finishers in UFC history, was dispatched in just 2.5 minutes. The knockout was so decisive that Oliveira was unconscious before he even hit the canvas, a testament to the precision and power that Topuria brings to the octagon. With this victory, Topuria became the 10th fighter in UFC history to hold championships in 2 weight classes and, notably, the first to do so while maintaining an undefeated record. His professional ledger now stands at a pristine 17-0, with a remarkable combination of knockouts and submissions that underscore his versatility and finishing ability. Topuria's journey to this point has been marked by a string of high-profile, high-stakes victories. After capturing the featherweight title by knocking out Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 298, a feat that in itself was historic given Volkanovski's dominance at 145 pounds, Topuria defended the belt against Max Holloway, another legend of the division. Holloway, known for his iron chin and endurance, had never before been knocked out, yet Topuria managed to finish him in spectacular fashion. These wins were not merely victories, they were the kind of performances that define legacies, and they set the stage for Topuria's move up to lightweight. The context of Topuria's ascent is critical when evaluating the pound-for-pound debate. The pound-for-pound rankings are inherently subjective, designed to reflect not just a fighter's dominance within their division, but their perceived ability to succeed against the best in any division, all other things being equal. For years, Islam Makhachev held the #1 spot, a position he earned through technical brilliance, a suffocating grappling style, and a string of dominant title defenses at lightweight. Makhachev's resume is formidable: a 27-1 record, a 15-fight win streak, and victories over elite competition, including Charles Oliveira, Alexander Volkanovski, twice, Dustin Poirier, and Renato Moicano. He became the most decorated lightweight champion in UFC history, and his reign at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings lasted over 600 days, second only to John Jones since the ranking's inception. Yet, the nature of Makhachev's dominance, while impressive, has been largely confined to a single weight class. His title defenses, though consistent, sometimes lacked the dramatic finishes and cross-divisional impact that tend to capture the imagination of both fans and analysts. Moreover, Makhachev's recent decision to vacate the lightweight title in pursuit of welterweight gold, while ambitious, left a vacuum at the top of the lightweight division and opened the door for new contenders to make their mark. Topuria's case for the #1 pound-for-pound spot is built not just on his undefeated record, but on the quality, decisiveness, and historical significance of his wins. Unlike Makhachev, whose only loss came early in his career, Topuria has never tasted defeat, and he has achieved championship success in 2 different divisions, a rare and difficult feat in modern MMA. His victories have been clean and largely uncontroversial. There are no disputed decisions or razor-thin calls on his record. In fact, many of his wins have come via knockout or submission, often against opponents who had previously seemed invulnerable.
The nature of Topuria's finishes also plays a significant role in his pound-for-pound credentials. Dana White, the UFC president, has repeatedly stated that To be considered the best pound-for-pound fighter, one must not only beat the best, but do so in dominant highlight reel fashion. Topuria has embodied this philosophy, consistently finishing elite opponents, and doing so with a clinical efficiency that has drawn comparisons to the likes of Conor McGregor in his prime. His ability to carry his power and precision up from featherweight to lightweight, as demonstrated in his knockout of Oliveira, further cements his status as a generational talent. Another factor in Topuria's rise is the timing and context of his achievements. The UFC, and MMA more broadly, has been in a period of transition, with several long-time superstars either retiring or moving out of the spotlight. In this environment, Topuria's emergence as a dominant, undefeated two-division champion has filled a void and provided the promotion with a new face to build around. His charisma, finishing ability, and willingness to take on all comers have made him a fan favorite and a media sensation, further amplifying his impact on the sport. It is also worth noting that Topuria's ascent was not merely a product of circumstance or promotional hype. Analysts and insiders, including former champions and respected commentators, have pointed to the substance behind his rise. Chael Sonnen, a longtime observer of the sport, noted that Topuria's current accolades arguably surpass those of Makhachev, and that clerical paperwork is all that prevents Topuria from holding 3 UFC titles, given his dominance across multiple divisions. Kamaru Usman, himself a former pound-for-pound king, has gone on record, stating that Topuria's run is unparalleled in today's MMA landscape, citing his ability to finish elite opponents with both striking and grappling. The contrast between Topuria and Makhachev is further highlighted by the nature of their respective wins. While Makhachev has certainly faced and defeated elite competition, some of his victories, such as his first win over Volkanovski, were subject to debate and scrutiny, with some observers questioning the judge's decision. Topuria, by contrast, has left little room for doubt, with most of his wins coming in dominant, decisive fashion. His performances have been characterized by a blend of technical mastery and raw athleticism, making him a threat in every phase of the fight. Topuria's mindset and approach to competition have also contributed to his rapid rise. In interviews, he has expressed both respect for Makhachev's skills and unwavering confidence in his own abilities. Topuria has stated that he sees nothing in Makhachev's game that would prevent him from either knocking him out or submitting him, a sentiment that underscores the self-belief that has propelled him to the top. This confidence is not mere bravado. It is backed by a track record of overcoming adversity and delivering under pressure, as seen in his comeback win against Jai Herbert and his ability to shake off early trouble against Oliveira. The pound-for-pound rankings are, by their nature, a reflection of both recent performance and overall legacy. In this regard, Makhachev's accomplishments remain significant, and his move to welterweight presents an opportunity to further cement his place in history should he capture a second divisional title. However, as of July 2025, the momentum, star power, and body of work all favor Topuria. His undefeated record, 2 division championships, and string of decisive finishes against elite competition have made him the consensus best fighter on the planet, at least for now. The implications of Topuria's rise extend beyond the rankings themselves. For the UFC, he represents a new era and a potential global superstar, capable of drawing fans from multiple markets and weight classes. For the sport, his ascent is a reminder of the ever-evolving nature of MMA, where new talents can emerge and redefine greatness seemingly overnight. And for the fighters themselves, the rivalry between Topuria and Makhachev, should they ever meet in the octagon, promises to be one of the most compelling storylines in recent memory. In conclusion, Ilia Topuria's surpassing of Islam Makhachev in the UFC's pound-for-pound rankings is the result of a perfect storm of dominant performances, historical achievements, and a shifting competitive landscape. His undefeated run, 2 division championships, and ability to finish the very best in the sport have set him apart in a way that is both statistically undeniable and viscerally compelling. While Makhachev's legacy is secure and his own journey is far from over, the present belongs to Topuria, a fighter whose blend of skill, confidence, and star power has made him the new standard by which all others are measured. Ilia Topuria's meteoric rise has drawn comparisons not only to the likes of John Jones and Conor McGregor,
but most notably to Khabib Nurmagomedov, a fighter who left the sport at the peak of his powers, undefeated and unchallenged. UFC legend Demetrius Johnson has been among those to tip Topuria as a unicorn in the sport, suggesting that his journey could closely mirror Khabib's own path. Johnson speculated that Topuria, who has openly discussed his intention to retire by the age of 30, may only compete 3 to 5 more times before walking away, potentially undefeated after having conquered 2 divisions. This kind of exit, leaving the sport on his own terms without ever tasting defeat, would place Topuria in a rarefied echelon, much like Khabib, who retired as the undisputed lightweight champion and has since focused on coaching and mentoring the next generation of fighters. Topuria's dominance, highlighted by his devastating knockout of Charles Oliveira and his earlier conquests over Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway, has prompted many experts and fans to draw parallels with the way Khabib dismantled his own era's elite. Both fighters have been lauded for their ability to finish top-tier opponents and for their unblemished records. Johnson's remarks also point toward the possibility of Topuria moving up to welterweight in the future, further cementing his legacy across multiple divisions. As Topuria's star continues to rise, the anticipation surrounding his next title defense grows, with names like Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, and Paddy Pimblett being floated as potential challengers. A headlining bout at Madison Square Garden, as Johnson suggested, could further solidify Topuria's status as a generational talent and global superstar. Should Topuria choose to retire undefeated in the coming years, his legacy would not only mirror Khabib's in terms of dominance and timing, but could also set a new benchmark for what is possible in modern MMA. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's just a tiny click for you, but it makes a massive difference for us. Thanks for supporting the channel.